Hey guys, I'm Maryam. I am back on my channel, as you can see. And here is today's look. It's a little peachy combo. Peach on the lids, peach on the lips. Perfect for prom, great for Coachella. It's a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more springy than some of my recent looks. It's actually making me really happy. I'm really enjoying it. I would wear this pretty much anywhere. The palettes that I use today are the classic Tarlette by Tarte and Too Faced Sweet Peach, which I actually just got in the mail the other day, and it was my first time trying it in this tutorial. I can tell you already that I'm obsessed with it. So I hope you like this look as much as I do. Thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and my blog. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Mwah. So here is my bare canvas. First thing that I'm gonna do is apply my primer. As always, I'm gonna be using two primers today, the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. I'm gonna put it all over the perimeter of my face because it's more nourishing, so it's better for those drier skin types, and this is kind of where my skin tends to get a little drier. And I'm also gonna be using Tarte's Smoothing Primer over the porous areas. This one is great for those of you who have textured skin, acne, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna start out with the Marc Jacobs, and I'm just gonna apply a couple of pumps over the perimeter of my face, around my mouth, around the temples, nostrils, and smooth it out. And then I'm gonna take the smoothing primer and I'm just gonna load some up on my finger and apply it to these porous areas as well as my situation right here. I really want to smooth it out, make it look as flat as possible, because right now it does have some texture. You could feel it. I'm also going to apply the smoothing primer on the tops of my cheekbones. I find that it really helps with your highlighter, especially if you have fine lines in those areas and you really want that highlighter to glide on smoothly. This will prevent any nasty little creases. So you guys know I've been testing out a lot of different foundations lately, and I've been loving quite a few. And this foundation right here, the Marc Jacobs Remarcable, has been one of my favorites. It's really pigmented, so it's full coverage, I would say. And what you have to do is shake it up really well. I mix two colors, of course, because I'm sort of in between colors. Maybe I just haven't found the right shade, but the ones that I have are 44 and 46. So 44 is golden medium, 46 is golden deep, and these are the two that I mixed together. Now, the instructions on this foundation say that you're only supposed to take a dot of foundation and apply it to each of the 4 areas of your face. I also apply it to my nose. But I find that that's really not enough for me, so I do the double. I take the second shade of foundation and I apply it right next to it, the extra dot. And then I take Marc Jacobs, the face brush. I believe this one is number 3. And I sort of buff it in. Do you see how well it covers? Do you see how far it goes? You really don't need a lot of product like you would with a lot of other foundations. And don't forget to blend down your neck. It's super important with this foundation because the coverage is pretty opaque, and when your face looks so flawless, it actually makes your neck kind of stand out and look a little different in comparison. Now, to take care of my problem area over here, I'm gonna get out this Pistachio concealer. Actually, it's a color corrector by Becca. And I'm just gonna dab it ever so slightly directly onto the problem area. So right on the spot. Like that. You don't wanna put too much product. You want it just concentrated on the redness and kind of just feather it out. I'm not even sure why I'm breaking out. I mean, I get that the last couple of days have been more stressful than normal. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, you know what's going on. But This thing was not here yesterday, so I'm not sure why it came so sudden. I didn't deserve that. But anyway, it happens to the best of us. Also covering up a little bit of redness around my nose. And then what I'm gonna do is, I still have a little bit of foundation left on this brush. So I'm just gonna stipple it on right on top of the green dots and kind of just blend it in. And of course, if you need more, then you can always go back in and just add a little bit and cover it up. Now you practically can't see it. I can't see it, so I know you guys can't see it. The next thing that I'm gonna do is apply my concealer, but before I do that, I'm gonna apply this primer by Tarte. It's really hard to open. Ugh. Okay, I got it. It's called Colored Clay CC Eye Primer. I love it because the crayon, and I can just draw it on, and I can apply it to the lower lash line before I apply my concealer. That way, it won't crease in that area. I can get really close to the lash line, inner corner, outer corner, look extra creepy while I'm doing that. Blend it out with my fingers. Next, I'm gonna apply Benefit Erase Paste in shade number 3. Any old brush, concealer brush. I think this one's by Motives, 120 eye primer. I'm gonna list everything down below as always. And I'm just going to apply it right in this soft area right here. Not going too far, just covering up this darkness right directly underneath my eye. And immediately blending it out with my pinky. I wanna say this is probably one of the first under eye correctors with the peachy tone that I've ever used, like years ago when I was still in high school. I remember discovering it and I'm like, this is so genius, before it was a thing. It's still one of my faves still today. It's just so creamy, it blends so easily. The original G of concealers is what it is. I'm gonna be using my Dermablend that I always use, but I don't wanna bake today. Just wanna keep it really simple, really natural, very chill, very easy. And I'm just gonna set the under eye. Excuse the faces that I make in the mirror. I can't help myself. It's just what we do as girls. But you get me, I know you do this too. I know you do. I'm gonna set this right here, the porous areas. Just lightly buff it. This area does tend to get very oily for me, so I almost always have to set it. A little bit between the brows, forehead. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna be using this Intense Powder Camo by Dermablend as well. The color is Toast. It's kind of like a yellowish sort of powder. Do you guys see the situation? I have to come up this close to see it. For the next couple of steps, I'm gonna be using this Infallible powder in number 700, which is Classic Tan, and a Wayne Gloss brush, number 12. And with this powder, I'm gonna do, I don't even know what to call this. I'm gonna add warmth to my face, to the areas that I normally would contour, but this is a very warm sort of color. So I'm not necessarily contouring, I'm adding like a very healthy glow. Contouring using a tanner. So as I'm adding it to my forehead, to my hairline, you're starting to see that my skin is getting warmer, it's getting a little bit more sun-kissed. I really like this shade for adding a little bit of dimension, but also like a healthy dose of color. It kind of negates that sallowness or that green glow that sometimes we tend to get. And instead it gives it that really nice, healthy, bronzy look. Now for chiseling, I'm gonna be using something a little bit different. This is Hoola, and look how cute it says Maryam's Hoola. Thanks Benefit, super sweet. This was probably one of the first products that I've ever contoured with, before contouring was a thing. And I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this video, but it is true. I never knew that contouring and chiseling your features would become what it is today. So here I'm doing a little bit more of a traditional contour. I'm going directly under the previous color and I'm chiseling my features. My jawline is kind of massive, so I like to go in circular motions because I really don't want to make it more massive. It's going to look very manly if I do that. So I'm just gonna soften the edginess. Okay, next for the blush, I'm gonna be using Natasha Denona Gorgeous Blush. This is a blush duo. Do you see it? Add a little bit to the apples of my cheeks. And then a little bit of the pinkish color on the tops of my cheekbones. I'm almost using this as a highlighter. I don't know if it's gonna translate on film, but it's really looking gorge in the mirror. Now let's start on the features. Let's do the eyebrows, the eyes, and the lippies. So next I'm just gonna brush out my brow to get rid of any foundation or powder that might have gotten into it. It's such a pet peeve of mine because it makes the brows look so ashy. Then I'm gonna take my trusty Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Ebony. Perfect for darker brows like mine. And I'm going to very gently, light hand, fill in any sparse areas. And I'm just gonna speed through this, you guys. If you want to see a brow tutorial, you can definitely check out my current brow tutorial. I'll make sure to include it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna make this one a quickie. I think I'm happy with the brows at this point. I'm going to start with my original Tarlette palette. I'm gonna go into this shadow right here called Wanderer. Add a nice base. Nice transition. Windshield wiper motions, small circular motions. Blending it out, making it look natural, seamless, like a shadow. Next, I'm going to go in with this palette right here, the Sweet Peach palette, which actually smells like peaches when you open it up, by Too Faced. I just got this palette and I'm so obsessed with it. I want to use it. It's so cute. I haven't even tried it. Here it is, me trying it for the first time on camera in front of you guys today. I'm adding the shade Puree right underneath the first shade. I love that smell. And now the whole room is filled with peach smell. Same shadow, Puree. And I'm just gonna line the lower lash line, give it that nice smokiness, and connect it to the crease. Next, I'm taking the shade Summer Yum, and it's a little bit warmer, a little bit redder than the previous shade that I applied, which was Puree. And I'm just applying it in that outer V right here with the same Morphe brush, just to deepen, add more interest, more gradient to this crease. Then I'm gonna go back to the Tarlette palette. I'm gonna pick up this deep brown shade right here. This shade is called Multitasker. Almost like I'm contouring my eye. I'm gonna chisel out that outer V. Candied Peach? Is that you? Yep, it is really, really pretty. And I'm applying it onto my lid with a flat brush, which of course will be listed down below. Oh, applied it with the wrong side. That's why it's not going on. Silly, silly me. Okay, so I'm applying it to the inner portion of the lid. Then I'm gonna apply it to the outer portion of the lid and over, connecting the two while leaving the center blank because I'm gonna apply a different color to the center. This is so springy, so summery. It's putting me in such a good mood. Okay, for the center of the lid, I'm going to add this shade right here called Just Peachy. I'm just gonna use my finger and dab it. Ooh, ooh, dab it right onto the center of the lid. That creates even more dimension because here's where the light hits your eye, makes it look all 3D. Do you see it? Do you see it? Are you into it? Are you into it as much as I'm into it? Ah, two-faced. You guys did it again. You did it again. This palette is good stuff. Start with the wing. And again, I'm gonna speed through this so I don't bore you guys with my lengthy liner application. If you wanna know how I apply liner, just go to my Instagram. You'll see plenty of quick tutorials. Okay, so I've been doing this little dot thing like that. And I may want to add another, slightly smaller, just for fun. Just for fun. I think it adds a little something. Boom, 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 and boom. Then I'm gonna apply my Tarte mascara. This one's pretty awesome. It multiplies your lashes by something like 1,000%. And of course the link to this baby is in the description of this YouTube video. Okay, so I've already completed one eye and now I'm gonna show you how to do it on this eye. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a small little brush and I'm gonna spray it with this Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. This is in scent Lemongrass, my favorite scent out of all of them. And then I'm gonna dip my brush into this little glitter. I don't know if you guys can see. It is Diamond Powder by Makeup Forever. And I'm applying it wet so that it really sticks and so that it really only goes wherever I place it because I don't want it to be all over. I just want it to be in the center and nowhere else. For my lashes, I'm gonna be using the new Iris Beauty by my girl Manal of Wake Up and Makeup. And this is my favorite style. It is called Athena. I love this style. I'm pretty sure it's my favorite one from the bunch. I like the fact that it's flared in the outer corners. Perfect for any almond eye shape. And there you have it. This is the final eye look. Okay, so time for the lippies. I'm gonna keep my lips somewhat neutral. I'm gonna do a little bit of a lip contouring using this Marc Jacobs pencil. And then I'm gonna apply Gerard Cosmetics Blooming Hibiscus Gloss. Alright, so the look is now complete. The last thing that I have to do is set all of my makeup, including my foundation, my eyes, my glitter, the lippies, not the lippies, but everything else. So I'm going to be using the Slay All Day in Lemongrass. All over my face. And what I like to do is take a little beauty blender and just set it in those areas that tend to get oily. Slay! And here is the final look. Snatched little ponytail. I quite like it. I think it's really fun, whimsical, perfect for any springtime occasion. It really makes me feel like I want to go out and do things and just be young and sassy. So I really hope it does the same for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing, for showing me your love every day. I'll see you guys on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on my blog. I love you as always, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye!